know it's a little late, with the end of the year wrap up for the football season, but probably understand how important it was to get on the recruiting trail as soon as we possibly could. Uh, Been hitting it every day since. Things are going well. Of course, we can't talk on specifics, anything like that, but I feel like we're about where we want to be this stage of the recruiting process. We have, possibly some early guys, that could possibly coming in. Of course, signing date the 1st of February coming up also. But we can talk on that a little bit later on. Talking about our football season, just kind of recapping it a little bit. 3 wins aren't enough. The plan, of course, was to win more games than that the first year out, but it didn't work that way. When you're coming into a new situation, you have to, kind of see where you are. The only way you can do that is to let things play out. To be able to get 2 Big Ten wins, though, is a start. We know we have to get a lot more. We lost some good players. I mean, some seniors that won't be with us anymore. I think we'll be seeing some of those guys a little bit later on playing at the next level. But going forward, though, really are excited about that. Spring ball this year will be earlier. We'll start, I think about February the 14th or so, somewhere in there, we'll start our spring practices. So we can't wait for that to come up. Some of the players coming back, offensively, you had a chance to see what we like to be. We talked about having balance on the offensive side. We want to have balance to be able to run the ball and, of course, pass it. And we'll do everything a little bit better. We had some players that stepped up that we didn't really know a lot about beforehand. Kendrick Foster, is a guy that I'd signal out. Saw some of the things he did early on in camp and in spring ball, but probably played the most consistent football offensively of anyone that we had. So we're kind of looking forward to another year with him amongst other guys. The injuries at the quarterback position kind of knocked us back a little bit, but we got a chance to at least evaluate and see exactly what those guys could do. Can't wait to get Chase Crouch back. Chase came in and gave us a lift. Toughness, throwing the ball, of course, running it. So hopefully we can, be more productive on the offensive side of the ball. Not hopefully, we will be. Defensively, we lost, of course, our defensive line. Talk about it being the engine of our defense. DeJuan Smoot, Carroll Phillips, those are guys that'll, Hardy Nickerson, guys that'll, have an opportunity to play at the next level, but it's time for others to step up. Trey Watson's, Patrick Nelson, some of those, Stanley Green, Jamal Milan, some of the guys, young players that they got playing time this year. It's their time now. But as I said, disappointing year, but as I see it, we're already, that cycle has started for next year, where better days will be ahead for us. We have that, Coach Whitman or Josh Whitman, our AD, that we will win. Motto is still there, and we will. Take your question.
On the offense, obviously, you want to get more, I think, athletic at quarterback.
Yes.
Just what will that do for your offense, and why is that the direction you want to go?
I just think that looking from a defensive point of view, it's just a lot harder to defend when you can, you would like to play a offense that's one-dimensional, just going to pass, and a quarterback that's primarily has to stay in the pocket to have success. When you have a guy that's a little bit more mobile, it can cause you a lot more problems. Whether it's use that mobility to move around to pass the ball or to take off and run when you need to. I think, so those are kind of the reasons we'll be trending in a little bit different direction.
Beyond recruiting, what's the top of your list in terms of things you got to get done between now and the start of next year?
Start of next year, well, there's a lot. In immediate future, it is recruiting.
Right.
That's why we transition right away to it. But, cleaning up from the last year, we have a current roster in place. Exit interviews for them, going over their season, what is expected of them going forward in the off season, finishing up. Right now, that student athlete part, it's just students right now. So finishing up this semester the right way, academically, and then just mindset. Then it's about getting away, and then getting ready for this next push that we'll have this coming year.
Or was the Big Ten relative to what you thought it would be coming in? Better?
Better. I think it's the best conference in football. So, how much better can you get? I knew there were good football programs, and there are. I know getting Big Ten wins would be hard, and it was. So, we're in a whole lot of surprises this past year.
Well, Chicago gets brought up with recruiting all the time. Obviously, you guys have a presence
Mhm.
there. But just down the road is St. Louis. How important is that area for you, and what's been the response there?
Chicago is very important. The state of Illinois, of course, is very important. But St. Louis is a big area for us, too. Both of them are close, right in the middle, pretty much, between Chicago and St. Louis. From going on the recruiting trail, I think it's pretty neat when you walk into a school and you see a lot of Fighting Illini colors, uniforms, people that have gone to our university. So that's an area that we will continue to hit hard, and we've gotten a good response from it.
Coach, you mentioned you wanted more wins, obviously, but what's been the most enjoyable part of your first year so far?
I think just, being around the guys, just getting back into the college game. Okay, it's no fun losing. And believe me, that's no fun at all. You're miserable when you lose, and you should be miserable when you lose. But everything else about the year, just establishing the culture on how we're going to win football games, what's expected, just the interaction with the players on a daily basis, traveling with the guys, coming back from a tough loss, celebrating a win, game day at Memorial Stadium. Just so many things to look back on fondly as we go, into the future.
Well, what is Chase's kind of timeline? Do you know, is he going to be ready for spring, or is that more of a fall?
Hey, February the 14th, right? He won't be ready for the, start of spring ball, but he'll be ready for, training camp. Not going to put a number on it. He's already working hard. If you know Chase, he'll come back sooner than everyone assumes he will. Other players, I haven't, played a game with Mike Dudick. I know Mike has been on the sideline, taking minimum reps throughout, but the next time we play, he'll be with us. So there's a lot of exciting things that will happen this next year.
How do you kind of approach it with him? Is he the guy you push in the spring? Or is it...
We have a plan in mind that we feel comfortable with, that Mike and his family feels comfortable with. Of course, the goal is to get him on the, to play that, opening game Ball State, having him in uniform with us.
Is there anybody besides Chase that'll be limited or not ready to go at the start of the spring?
Yes, we have some. We're not, trying to think of the guys right now. Go into detail a little bit later on, but we've had some surgeries of a few players, and all the guys that had surgery, at the end of the year won't be ready for spring ball. So I'll be able to go, give you a little bit more detail outlook on that a little bit later on.
The spring, why did you start in the spring when you're doing that in April?
Why start it later? This is, to me, there's a few reasons why you do it. First, I just kind of believe in it. You're ready for football, why put it off? So if you go through spring ball and you have a couple of injuries, you have a little bit more time for them to rehab and heal up. And I like to, finish up before spring break. Now we can get into our off-season program and go straight through with it without breaking it up also. And I like change too, sometimes when you don't get results you want, to change things up a little bit. So we're going to do it this way, and I think the guys will like it.
Will you have a spring game, or will you have a scrimmage as you did last year? How will you do that?
We haven't, made all those, decisions yet. A little bit will have to do with the number of guys that we have. I know our numbers are down a little bit, the injuries and all that, so we're going to have so we may not be able to, but we'll be able to do something, and hopefully we have enough to have at least something that ended up that everybody will get a chance to see their team going forward with.
When you think about guys who just played their first season, where do you sort of see a priority for them in the offseason? Is it physical development, mental development, emotional development? Where do you kind of what do you think is sort of the most important?
All of the above, Yeah, you want to get bigger, stronger, faster, always. So that's a big part of it, yes. Just physically improving our bodies. But the mental part of the game, too. For us to have another off season of it's hard to just really get a total grasp of what we expect by position. So that's pretty important as much as anything. I think the mental part of the game is just as important as the physical part that we'll be going through. So can't say that one is more important than the other.
Are you still of the opinion that your staff will be back?
Absolutely. I think we talked about that a little at the end. If there's a great opportunity that comes along for someone, and we think that it's, a better situation for them, I'm trying to help our guys advance as much as anything. I have a great job here at the University of Illinois based on people helping me along the way. I'm in a different role now, trying to help some of our guys. But that's not the case right now. Don't know of anyone that's planning on it. If they do, we'll let you know.
How important to you is continuity in that staff?
It's important. In an ideal world, we want to keep everybody. Ideal world, you want to start every player. The first game, opening game lineup, you want to have it the same each week, but it doesn't happen that way normally. But you adjust. It's about adjustments always, of having different options and what you're presented with, making good decisions then. And that would be the case right now if it happened.
Lovie, as you recruit junior college players, are you impressed with junior college ball? Do you feel like those kids can come right in at a Big Ten level, or do you fill in gaps in the roster? Kind of what's your junior college strategy?
Well, as a base rule, we're going to build our program with high school athletes coming out. But I think as a bridge, as an additional add-on, yes, JC players can help you a little bit. We have looked at a couple of junior college players, but again, it'll always just be adding a few. Just junior college ball as a whole, the programs are getting better and better. The guys are coming out of junior colleges more prepared academically. Have been impressed with that.
Does having a winter here allow for your staff, your players, everything?
It's funny you mention that. We have, that's a part of, we're a northern team. It's as simple as that. As I'm talking as we talk to recruits. I think 24 of the 32 NFL teams play up north, so that's kind of part of it. You're a guy from Florida and you're coming here this weekend, you have to get by that weather a little bit, but we all have. In the end, weather and things like that can't be the ultimate reason why you make decisions on where you go to school. Just part of life that we deal with up here.
I just meant more just time.
Oh, I know what you meant. I just wanted to go into my recruiting spiel a little bit right now. Again, this is what it is. We'll deal with it.
Do you expect any grad school transfers? Is that
I'm sorry, do I?
Grad school transfers, the new guys that worked out, and
Well,
obviously with already.
I think now, just like we talk, okay, we're building our program on high school athletes coming out. We may occasionally bring in a couple of junior college players. Graduate athletes will also be a part of it. We'll keep that option open too. But you don't know about graduate athletes at this stage. But That's why it's not like we're going to necessarily sign, all of our scholarships. You want to have a couple of, to me, anything you're dealing with in life, you want to have options, and you try to create options as often as you possibly can. That is a possible option for us.
How much of your focus is on those 2017 class as opposed to the future classes?
My first year in college ball, something I've had to get used to is how soon the recruiting process starts. So yes, absolutely, we're recruiting 2017 athletes right now, but 2018 athletes also, and a few 2019. So the process, it happens quickly, and we're a part of that also. And what I'm seeing is that this is a great class coming out. I feel like this year, the following year is another really good class of athletes that are fairly close to us that will help, some university win a lot of games.
Are there some limitations in terms of JC transfers, in terms of the school part, the school part of that? Is that anything that you can do with that or not?
No, we realize who we are as a university. If there are limitations, I don't know what they are. I mean, there's a certain type of athlete we're recruiting, all right? And that's the athlete that's interested in, getting his degree from a, fine academic institution. If we're looking at a JC guy, that's a part of it.
You mentioned Illinois obviously is a priority for you. What about Central Illinois? What do you think of the high school athletes in this Central Illinois area?
And I'll say Illinois, I'm talking all of it, Central, down south, up north, Chicago area, out west, state, in order for us to make this climb, all right, to get our program where we want it to be, we want to do it with our guys. And what I've found, what we've seen is that a lot more athletes in the state of Illinois than what we're given credit for. It's good football. There's some great high school football championship games held down here. And again, as we start going out amongst, the schools, we're seeing more and more scholarship athletes. And also an area that we need to improve on is I talked a little bit about this earlier too, is the walk-on program too. Everybody can't initially necessarily go on scholarship, but you can earn it. And so there are some athletes that we want to get those numbers up also around here.
Three of the schools you're playing this year, Western Kentucky, I think, but South Florida, Purdue, made changes in coaches. How much does that add to your challenge?
Doesn't affect us any, really. Eventually we'll get to game planning against them.
Sure.
And, first it's a little bit harder for first-year staff, but beyond that, doesn't affect us an awful lot. Yeah, you're right, two of our first three have new coaching staffs, but, again, it's not affecting us that much. We're aware of it, though, yes. Really excited, too, about, we're talking football. Our football team will be at the basketball team tomorrow against Central Michigan. Excited about what we're going to do on the basketball court. John and crew are doing a great job. I love basketball as much as I love football. So excited about that. Weather's bad outside, so why not go inside and see a great basketball game? We'll be out in force tomorrow there.
Do we have any questions from the phone lines for Coach Smith? Don't hear any.
Lovie, as far as the players who are going to Shrine games, Shriners games, All-Star games, from an NFL perspective, how important are those games for the kids when they play in those kind of games?
They are very important. We have some good football players, and sometimes you only play against certain guys and a part of the country didn't get a chance to see you play, but this is supposed to be the best from all around, and you get a chance to go down there and showcase your talents. Whether it's the Senior Bowl, the Shrine games coming up, we'll have some of our players in those games. Really excited about what those guys will do. It should only, raise their stock a little bit. That's really important to the guys also. And then in the weeks to come, we'll be able to announce a few of the guys that will be going to the different bowls.
Is that a good situation when you have recruits in for a weekend to have a home basketball game where you can take them to a venue where they can feel a little bit of excitement going on?
Absolutely. It's a perfect weekend for us. And as I say, we'll have a big group over this weekend of current players and future, prospects also. But yeah, it's a part of the overall experience at the University of Illinois. It's an exciting time to go down to our basketball arena, and we have a good basketball team. And most of the athletes coming out, a lot of the athletes coming out, play basketball also. So I know that's one of the highlights. I know they're all looking forward to that, as we are.
Piggybacking off Jim's comment, what are some things you're hearing from your NFL friends about Wes and what they like about him?
Well, without going into detail, I'm not talking to a whole lot of NFL. You know who I'm talking to right now? I had a whole lot of meals, great meals from prospects is what I've been doing a lot of. No, seriously, I mean, Wes, he's a drop back passer. The NFL is based on a drop back quarterback. Wes has all of the things you're looking for, to make that next step, being a drop back quarterback in NFL. Smart, going to be a great teammate, and more people come around and get a chance to talk to him. Football knowledge, all of that. It's going to be positive, signs come from every meeting that they have with him.
What do you think about the football Final Four semis? Did they get it right?
Okay, now how am I, Josh, how am I going to answer this question, Josh? Did they get it right? Well, yeah, I mean, it's tough. Okay, let me start off this way. I believe in the 8 playoff system, 18 playoff system a little bit, because it seemed like with 4, some good football teams get left out. And the 4 that in there are worthy, all right, to be there. But, okay, we're in the Big Ten Conference, right? Right? Big Ten. And our champion, we have the best conference, Josh, the best conference in football, and our champion isn't in it. I have a problem with that. So to me, how do you remedy that? Well, you add more teams to it. So how about that? Is that a decent answer?